My vision for our future is fueled by one person, my brave wife, Elena, who still fights her battle with mental illness. What the? Shut it down! Turn it off! Now! Security, seize her! Get the First Lady to the clinic immediately!
He was right about one thing. I am losing my mind. But listen closely. It's not because of the cocktails of chemicals the prestigious Sterling clan has been pumping into my veins for the past month. I'm going mad from the bitter taste of the truth. My name is Elena Sterling. In Manhattan, that surname carries more weight than all the gold in the Federal Reserve. People look at me and see luxury touching the heavens. But when I look at them, I see nothing but rot and the stench of death from a pack of walking corpses in designer suits. 30 days ago, I accidentally became the uninvited guest at a family dinner. A world of filthy goat masks, carnal whimpers, and the vacant stares of young girls being torn apart. My father, New York's most venerable man, gave me a special gift for the sin of curiosity. A one-way ticket to Sterling Heights, a cage specifically designed for the insane elite. For a month, I've become a master thespian. I learned to swallow sedatives only to gag them up in the freezing bathroom. I learned to scream just to keep my brain from being incinerated by my own sanity. I escaped, only to be caught. I escaped again, only to be dragged back like an animal. And then, Julian Vane appeared, the living saint of the downtrodden, a political lifeline with the face of an angel. As Julian stepped inside, I lunged. I became a cornered beast, clawing at his $5,000 bespoke suit. The world outside wouldn't suspect a thing. After all, a mad woman can do anything, right? I might be crazy, Julian, but if you get me out of here, this crazy will make you president. If not, I'll drag you straight to hell with the rest of the Sterlings.
You're a magnificent actress, Elena. I'll buy the show.
He took the bait. Julian needed a golden ladder to climb out of the gutter he was born in, and I was that ladder. My family agreed to sell me so fast it was almost comical. Is a piece of sterling trash really worth that much? He thinks he just opened the cage for a broken bird. He has no idea. He just unleashed a demon. Welcome to the game, Julian. Don't blink, because you won't want to miss the series finale. The wedding happened so fast, I thought I was watching a time-lapse film of a betrayal. My father squeezed out a few crocodile tears, while Julian accepted his sterling scrap metal with the grin of a man who just hit the jackpot. Welcome Elena Sterling to her new cage. Higher class, more decadent, and 10 times more suffocating. I thought I'd have room to breathe, a chance to plot the Sterling family's demise right under Julian's nose. But no.
Elena, given your unstable condition, I've prepared a special gift. This is Jade. She will protect you 24/7.
I looked at her. Jade. Tanned, hardened skin, a face carved from granite, and eyes? Oh, those eyes didn't hold a single spark of human emotion. In those feral eyes, I saw only myself, a target in need of containment. Protection? Don't insult me. Julian wanted to cage his bluebird. This bodyguard is a literal machine. She had the nerve to barge into the bathroom just because I let out a scream. She stands in the corner watching me sleep with the eyes of a vulture. Even when I pretended to get lost in my own home, Jade said in a deep, icy tone, "Wasting energy is not on your schedule. Back to your room." Fascinating. A perfect, soulless machine planted by Julian to break my will. But Jade, honey, you have no idea who the real hunter is yet. Julian is busy playing the part of the nation's husband for those fat cat tycoons. He needs them to believe he's successfully tamed the Sterling bloodline. And me? I'm sticking to my script, sitting in this wheelchair, draped in pure white silk, staring into the abyss like a broken doll. Jade stands right behind me. Her breathing is steady and cold as an industrial air conditioner. A waiter stammers, I'm so sorry, ma'am." A clumsy waiter spills wine on my dress. He looks at me with that pathetic pity reserved for the mentally ill. Big mistake, kid. Cry? In your dreams. I grind my needle-thin heel into the top of his foot, twisting it with cold, calculated cruelty. Jade moves to intervene, but I'm faster. I lean into his ear, whispering in the ancient Latin only the sterling elite are bred to know. A fallen phoenix is still a phoenix. The waiter turns pale, fleeing as if he'd just seen a demon. I slide back into my wheelchair, my gaze returning to that hollow, empty stare. But I know Jade saw it. First time for everything, right? Julian's machine just skipped a beat. I catch her reflection in the mirror. The corner of her mouth gives a microscopic twitch. While Julian is trapped in the crowd, I slip a note into Jade's pocket. A tip about a stock market crash only a sterling could foresee. I said to her, "Give this to him if you want him to win tonight's debate. And Jade, decide whether you want to be the hound for a loser or stand with the one who actually owns the board. I bet tonight Jade won't be standing as still as a statue anymore."
Useless! All of you! Jade, how do you explain a leak this massive on your watch? My governor's seat almost vanished tonight!
Look at that. Julian's machine is finally bleeding. Of course the documents leaked. I'm the one who sent them. A small sacrifice to dismantle a rock-solid loyalty. Julian is losing his mind. He didn't just cut off her food. He's locked her in the pitch-black basement, forcing her to kneel on jagged gravel to repent. He wants to snap her pride in half, to make her beg for forgiveness like a discarded hound. But he forgot. I'm the one who knows every blind spot in this security grid. I slip into the dark, not with hollow pity, but with a blueprint to capture a soul. I step into the dark. Jade is kneeling, her shoulders trembling from pure exhaustion, her knees raw and bleeding on the sharp stones. She looks up at me, those icy eyes finally reflecting shock, and above all, total humiliation. I don't utter a single word of cheap comfort. I simply kneel beside her in silence, using a warm cloth to wipe the dried blood from her hardened skin. The soft hands of a debutante who's never touched dirt are now tending to the filth of her own jailer. Don't move. Let me. Are you going to kneel here until you die, Jade? To prove what? Your loyalty to a man who sees you as nothing more than a replaceable shield? Look at me. Look into my eyes. I lean in close, letting my forehead rest against hers. Our breaths mingle in the stifling darkness of the basement. I can feel her body stiffen under my touch, and then slowly, she exhales. Her fingers tremble, gripping the hem of my silk dress like a drowning woman seizing her only lifeline. He starves you, I bring you water.
The way Jade looks at me has changed. It's no longer the gaze of a jailer watching a prisoner, but of someone imprisoned within the maze of her own emotions. Tonight, Julian is out hosting clients. This penthouse belongs to me and her, a kingdom with no rules. I stand before the mirror, letting my backless evening gown drape dangerously low, exposing porcelain skin reflected under the amber glow of the lamps. I call her in. I can hear her footsteps hesitating at the door. Fast learner, aren't you, Jade? A machine doesn't hesitate, but a human does. Jade reaches for the zipper. Hands that only knew how to grip a trigger or snap on handcuffs are now trembling pathetically against my skin. I don't help her. Instead, I lean back slightly, pressing my spine against her racing chest. The scent of sandalwood from her body mingles with my rosewater perfume. A maddening combination. I whisper into Jade's ear. Your breath is shallow, Jade. Look at me. Don't look away. Did he hire you to guard me or to crave me in his place? Are you protecting me or are you trying to protect yourself from me? I trace my finger along her tightened jawline, stopping at her quivering lips. I can feel the war raging inside her, between blind loyalty and the most primal instinct.
She stands there, paralyzed, drowning in her own desire. I can see her pupils dilating, her lips parted, but unable to form a sound. I trace her mouth with my index finger, a gesture of pure possession. I leave her there with a mind completely shattered. Your job is to protect me, Jade. But who's going to protect you from your own betraying heart?
You betrayed me! A wiretap right under my desk? Jade, were you planning to sell me out to the opposition? I raised you, gave you a name, and this is how you repay me?
Look at him. The beast, Julian, baring his fangs. That wire? Mine, of course. I planted it in the most obvious spot, just waiting for this moment. I needed an excuse to take the fall for Jade, to transform myself into the ultimate savior of her lonely life. I step out from the shadows just as Julian orders his guards to drag Jade away for punishment. I said, "Stop, Julian. It was me. I tricked Jade. I took advantage of her slip-up to plant it. She's innocent. If you want someone to break, look at me." Jade's helpless scream, "No, don't touch her, please." Julian drags me into the solitary cell in the basement. He uses the darkness and isolation to teach me a lesson in submission. But I know he can't cross certain lines with a Sterling. Not yet. Noon, midnight, I lie on the freezing floor, feigning total exhaustion. Through the small slit in the door, I know Jade is there. She sees the high-born Sterling princess wallowing in the dirt just to shield a mere hireling. This debt, Jade, how do you intend to pay it back? After that cellar ordeal, Julian thought he had finally broken me through fear. He allowed Jade to train me, under the guise of improving my health for the upcoming campaign trail. Foolish man. He just officially handed his prize pawn over to her only true accomplice. He has no idea that in this locked room, away from the surveillance, we aren't learning self-defense, we are learning how to belong to one another. Jade stands directly behind me. The distance is so narrow I can feel the radiating heat from her body. Hands that once knew only brutality now touch me as if I were a fragile treasure made of the finest crystal. She adjusts my arms, but her fingers linger on my skin far longer than necessary. Jade whispered against my ear, "Don't use muscle. You can't beat him with strength. Use your hatred. Turn it into leverage. Every strike must be a declaration of war. I will be your shield, Elena. Forever. No matter who the enemy is." I catch our reflection in the floor-to-ceiling mirror. Jade doesn't look at me as a target anymore. That look, it's the pure devotion of a believer to a fallen saint. But Julian, there's one thing you didn't foresee. While teaching me to strike back, Jade accidentally let me see the shattered pieces of her own past through the faint scars on her wrists. And I, for the first time in 10 years, I feel a flicker of genuine warmth from this body. Careful, Elena. You're the hunter. Don't go getting lost in the warmth of the very prey you've spent so long trapping. Still not enough. I need one final blow. It's time to close the net on this lovely little wolf cub. My plan is simple. To win the absolute loyalty of a hound, I must let her see her master disintegrate. Jade doesn't fear her own death. She only fears failing to protect Julian's masterpiece. Tonight, I will destroy that masterpiece, right in front of her eyes. Julian thought he won. He thought the beatings and the dark cellar had snapped me. He has no idea that what kills me every day is the memory of that party, those filthy goat masks haunting the mirror every time I look at myself. I huddle in the corner. I'm not doing anything. That would be too quick. I'm using a broken shard from Julian's expensive vase, slowly touching the old scars on my arms, one by one, as if trying to peel away the very flesh they touched. She barges in. Look at her. Those soulless eyes are shattering as she sees me, in a white silk dress stained with dark crimson streaks, lost in my own agony. Jade screams, "Elena, no, put it down. What are you doing to yourself?" Jade is trembling now. "I'm begging you, Elena, don't do this. Don't mutilate yourself for a man who isn't worth it. If you want blood, take mine." I look at Jade. I let her see the old, weeping scars, the marks of shame the Sterling clan left behind. I don't push her away. I let her touch my brokenness. I whispers, "Promise me. Help me kill that monster, or just help me end it all right now. I don't want to live in this mirror for another second, Jade." "You must live, Elena. You have to. Do you know, in those nights when he tortured me, when I was kneeling on jagged gravel in that cellar, what was the only thing that kept me from going insane? It was your face. The radiant, exquisite face of the Sterling heiress I saw in the old photos before the tragedy began. Your eyes back then shone like a sun that someone born in darkness like me never dared to dream of. I swore to myself that even if I had to pay with my life, I would bring that light back into your eyes. So please, don't extinguish it." Jade lifts my face, eyes locked. "Your soul is not stained. They are the ones who are filthy. Live to see the day I hand you his head." Julian's machine has completely disintegrated. Jade is no longer his guard. From this moment on, She belongs to me, body and soul. In the days that followed, we lived in a perfect performance. In front of Julian, I was the compliant, sterling doll. Jade was the cold overseer. But every time he left, this penthouse became our private sanctuary. Jade always held me as if it were the last time she'd ever touch life itself. The scars on her back from Julian's punishments, taken in my place, were still raw, yet she never uttered a sound of pain. She simply stayed silent, using her steady chest to shield the brokenness within me. Why do you do this, Jade? If this continues, Julian will kill you before we even see freedom. Are you not afraid of the abyss ahead? Jade answers, abyss or heaven? It makes no difference to me. Elena, listen to me carefully. I will bring you to the paradise you've always dreamed of. A place without sterlings, without masks, without shadows. I will spend my very life building it for you. But if fate demands we descend into hell, then I will take you down with me. I will not let you be alone in that darkness. I will stand between you and the flames. I will be your shield, your blade, the sinner who bears every ounce of your pain. You only need to look at me, Elena. Hell with you is my sanctuary. My hunter's heart suddenly began to race, painful, fierce, so loud I thought I would shatter. This was no longer an act. The way she looks at me, that maddening, dominant devotion, made me feel small, yet truly cherished. I realize I'm starting to crave this warmth more than my revenge, but the truth won't let us stop. Because inside Julian's secret drawer, I just found the thing that will finish us all. Tonight, while Julian was drowning in his polished campaign numbers, I finally infiltrated his sanctuary. I was searching for proof of embezzlement, a political scandal lethal enough to bury him. But what I found instead was the soul of a demon. A truth so foul, it exceeds even the most twisted scenarios I could have imagined. A silver goat mask. It lies there, arrogant and obscene, in Julian's private drawer. Under the dim flicker of my flashlight, the hollow eyes of the mask seem to be laughing at my stupidity. Memories from months ago flood back like a tide of filthy, stinking mud. I see myself on that horrific night, small, panicked, lurking outside that room thick with the stench of expensive booze and unbridled debauchery. I see the shadowed figures in goat masks, mocking my desperate struggle. And then, a voice so warm, so elegant, it makes my skin crawl, leaning in close to my father's ear.
Come now, Mr. Sterling. Hand Elena over to me. In my hands, she will be the most beautiful, most radiant masterpiece you've ever created. I promise you, you won't regret this transaction.
I remember everything now. All this time, I wasn't living with a hero who saved my life. He was the one standing there, bidding on my existence like a luxury commodity. The rescue at the hospital, the tender concern, the vows of protection, it was all part of a sick, elaborate play Julian orchestrated with my family. He didn't save me from the demon's den. He simply moved the den to his penthouse to possess his toy in private. He is the enemy, the mastermind, the alpha wolf wearing the suit of a saint. I prided myself on being a clever hunter. God, it hurts. After all this, the highborn Elena Sterling was nothing more than a pawn being turned over and over in the palm of his hand. The revulsion tightens my chest, making me want to vomit right then and there. But I don't cry. Elena, with or without the family name, never sheds a single tear in front of an enemy. Tears are for the weak, and me, I am preparing a funeral. I walk out wearing my most radiant smile and gracefully accept his kiss. Every time those filthy lips touch my skin, I feel like 1,000 centipedes are crawling up my spine. Julian, you played the devoted husband and the chivalrous savior so well that I almost committed the ultimate sin, handing you my heart. Julian whispers to me, "We're almost at the peak, my love." I find Jade in the shadows of the hallway, where he cannot see. I open my palm, showing her the silver goat mask. I watch her world crumble in the depths of her eyes. The last shred of loyalty for the man who saved her from the streets vanishes like smoke. He didn't save us, Jade. He bought us to decorate his kingdom. You want to run? No, running is too merciful. We stay. We are going to fatten Julian up a little longer. Let him climb to the absolute peak of his career. Let him reach for that presidential seat. Let him drown in the intoxication of glory. Only for me to personally pull the rug out from under his feet. I want him to shatter while the whole world is watching. I want him to feel what it's like to be crushed while he's high above the clouds. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, right, Julian? Enjoy the glory while it lasts, Julian. At the upcoming rally, your wife is going to give you a wedding gift you'll remember for the rest of your life, even in the depths of hell. Listen to him, Julian, playing the role of the greatest living saint in Manhattan. He wants to use the madness he fabricated for me as a springboard to the top. But Julian, darling, this stage, tonight, belongs to me. And I'm done playing the victim. I command, Jade, activate it.
What is this? Shut it down. Where is security? My wife is having an episode. This is an AI fabrication, a sick plot to smear my family's honor.
That's not all, my love. That was just the appetizer to stir the crowd. The main course is served.
You're most beautiful when you're broken, Elena. Don't worry, Mr. Sterling has already agreed to sell you to me.
That's not me. It's a lie. Seize her. Lock her in the asylum immediately. She's gone insane and wants to destroy the future of this country. Get Elena.
He wants to cage me again? Julian, haven't you learned anything? Your cage burned to ash the moment I took Jade's hand. Elena, get on! Hold on tight! I shed the skin of the frail socialite, seized Jade's calloused hand, and mounted that iron beast. We tore through the hail of bullets and the stunned silence of the world. In that moment, I wrapped my arms around Jade's waist, pressing my face against the steady back that had taken so many blows for me. My heart beat in sync with the engine, powerful, free, and breathtaking. Go, Jade! Don't you ever stop! Goodbye, Golden Cage. Goodbye, filthy Manhattan. Goodbye, Julian, you pathetic loser. We raced toward Michigan, where the vast lake waits to wash away every sin. Freedom was right in front of us. Or at least, that's what I desperately crave to believe. The sunrise is breathtaking. The early light over Lake Michigan feels so pure, as if it could wash away every stain I carried in Manhattan. My heart, still racing from the escape, trembles in my chest. But my eyes, they can't stop looking at Jade. We sank the bike into the lake, drowning our past and the heavy name of Sterling along with it. In this moment, no power, no revenge matters. I only need her. I take Jade's calloused hand, rough, scarred, yet so intensely warm, in mine. She stands there, hair dancing in the wind, looking at me with eyes I would give my very soul for. We're finally free, Jade. No one can touch us anymore. An anonymous message from an encrypted email address I've never seen. I open the photo, and the world around me grinds to a sudden, terrifying halt. It's an old, yellowed photograph. Jade, 10 years younger, with the same stoic face, standing and smiling next to my mother. My mother, the woman who evaporated from this world so long ago that not even the FBI, CIA, or all the Sterling millions could find a single hair on her head. Accompanied by words that freeze the blood in my veins. Did you think meeting Jade was a coincidence? Everything went exactly according to our plan. Welcome home, little toy Elena. I look at the hand that just held hers. Why does that warmth suddenly feel as cold as a pair of steel shackles? Why does the devotion in her eyes now look like the surveillance of a loyal jailer? Jade turns to look at me. Her face remains unchanged. Hard, mysterious, stoic. Who is she? My hero who plucked me from the abyss? Or the final cage planted by someone in the shadows to watch over me for the last 10 years?